Do you set goals and quickly fall behind to completely give up? If you want to follow through, here is exactly how to stay accountable with your money by having a quarterly review. This is your 90-day money plan. Why, hello, my yellow groupers. I'm Carly, a finance grad and the creator of Best Money Class Ever, where I teach how to pay off debt, invest, and stress less about money. Grab a seat. I'm about to spill the financial tea. Are you ready for it? I shared how you can plan your entire year in advance with my 2026 real annual budget. The next step, obviously, we want to make sure you can actually follow through. You can do that by having a quarterly review. A quarterly review is a personal finance check-in for the next 90 days. You see where you stand, plan ahead, check your progress towards your goals, update your net worth, map out any upcoming expenses for the next 90 days. This is for you if you always set goals but then forget them by spring, or even in January you haven't made any progress. Or if you set goals but everything felt too overwhelming, you gave up, you didn't track anything. This will give you a focused seasonal reset to make sure your money is aligned with your goals for the year. You can course correct before the year slips away, make big goals feel attainable, and most importantly, it's a chance to get a fresh start. You'll see what's working, what's changed, and what needs adjusted. I will show you my real 2026 Q1 review. You can complete your quarterly review with pen and paper, or you can follow along and grab my exact financial day planner in the link in the description below. There are 5 steps to complete a quarterly review. Step number 1 is to see exactly where you stand right now, and you can do that by checking out your balance sheet. Let's take a look. You really do want to see exactly where you stand, and your balance sheet is one of the financial statements that I recommend using as Chief Financial Officer to manage your money like a boss. It shows a lot. It shows your assets and then your liabilities. So your assets is the total of everything that you own right now and the value, and then your liabilities is everything that you owe right now. I did a full breakthrough of my net worth. So right now I am a half millionaire. This is my current net worth. It's about $556,000. Quarterly review is something that you will come back to at the end of each quarter. So that would be the March 31st is the end of Q1, June 30th is the end of Q2, and September 30th is the end of Q3, and December 31st is the end of Q4. The idea that you don't have accountability with money shouldn't exist as a CFO or an accountant. They literally account for the transactions in a business, and you have these built-in deadlines when you view finances in terms of fiscal years and break it down by quarter. The second step, every single month, you don't need to wonder like, how much am I saving? How much can I invest? How much extra am I going to pay with my debt? You just need to follow a simple plan. My custom system is called the finance plan. It's literally your step 1, 2, 3, and 4 with money. We want to follow this plan and just make it automatic. I did a full video on this. You can check it out. But as a quick recap, step 1 with the finance plan is to save 10% of your pay. If you currently are in debt, you do 5 towards retirement and 5 towards a starter emergency fund. You want to utilize the strategy to pay yourself first, which is instead of waiting till the end of the month and then whatever's left, you and your future first. So you want to think of your savings as a fixed set expense. Step number 2 is to get out of debt. So you want to pay all of your minimums, plus with the Spartan method I teach, you'll pay an extra $300 or more to the highest interest debt each and every month. You will want to make this debt payoff plan automatic. Every single month, you'll be paying the exact same amount. Once you are debt free, then you'll start investing all 10%. And then step 3 with the finance plan to save 3 to 12 months of expenses in the bank for a rainy day. You can then take what you were paying towards your debt and then throw that in the bank to have a full emergency fund. And then step number 4 with a finance plan is to save for life purchases, a home, car, or early retirement. Your retirement's off to a great start. You got money in the bank for a rainy day. The sky's the limit to save up for the fun things in life. I am currently on step number 4, which is early retirement. I do consider myself semi-retired. I am pushing, my goal is to have $1 million by age 45. You can check out my exact plan on how to become a millionaire here. So let's take a look at what this looks like for an average Joe. For example, average Joe earns an average annual income of just under $60,000. He gets paid semi-monthly, so he is going to automatically start investing 5%. So for him, he's going to automate, and that will be about $200 with a company match each paycheck. And then after tax, he will automatically do 5% or $248 for his emergency fund. And then his debt minimums here are listed, and then he will automatically pay the $300 extra. It's not not a guessing game. It's just going to automatically happen. So every single month, even as the debts are paid, he'll be paying the same amount. In this example, it's 1196 towards his debt. Again, the key here is automating your plan. Pay yourself first. Most everything that you spend is entirely known and literally fixed and in your control. So we have your pre-tax saving, your after-tax savings. The other fixed categories are charity, housing, insurance, services, and debt. To take the guesswork out, I recommend doing what I call an operating expense and using cash. So I personally take out $120 cash and make it last for the week for my day-to-day operating expenses like groceries, gas for my car, and eating out, hanging out with friends. And then you will want to have what is a profitable budget. So for example, after you have your income and your fixed expenses, your operating expenses, you want to have here at least like a $500 buffer for the other irregular expenses that vary from month to month based on what is going on in your life. Categories for those are medical, maintenance, project, celebration, travel, and fun. As CFO, you assign a dollar sign to your to-do list for the upcoming 3 months. You pinpoint those extras that will be incurring on the month that they will incur. The absolute laziest way to follow through and be accountable is just literally to follow the finance plan and make that automatic, where it automatically goes through to save and invest each and every month. Keep it simple, stay accountable by just automating that plan. Step number 3 with a quarterly review is to review your goals for the year. I shared last week my EFIT goal setting system, which actually focuses on your effort versus the outcome. Most of life I've learned is totally out of my control. It is an acronym and it stands for focusing on your faith, family, fitness, finances, and career. So part of the quarterly review is you want to read over those again to freshen up of your intentions for the year. And it is kind of crazy. I do plan my entire year in advance with what I call an annual review. And then the quarterly review is just reviewing the plan, getting fresh on what you wanted for the year. Keep it simple by looking at what's going on in your life. I have a year at a glance that maps things out by quarter. There's important birthdays, reminders, and work events and appointments that you can map out. You will go through each of the Flex Life Reinvestment categories and kind of refresh what you want for the year. And so the categories for that are, again, medical, maintenance, project, celebration, travel, and fun. So here I'm just going to kind of review my plan of what I want to do for 2026, the big picture for each of those categories. Simply reviewing what you want is so powerful. Step number 4 is then to list the top 5 in each of the categories. This is a way to make sure you simplify, you don't do too much, you just commit to a few things in the areas that are important to you. In other words, we have what we wanted for the year, and then we're going to break it down for the next 3 months and give ourselves kind of like a deadline or time frame to make those things happen. Here is my quarterly review for Q1 2026. In medical, I really want to focus on my therapy. Luckily, I have a zero copay I'm going to go about every week. I also want to find an eye doctor, do want to book a dermatologist appointment, have an estimate for $350. For my maintenance, for my one thing that did change is for my medical, I want to do this supplement and it's about $30. For my maintenance, I am going to do a toll tag that's about $50, and oil change about $50. And then I had this other weird thing come up. My license plate is just gone. I'm a little concerned. I have to probably report that. I might have to replace it. I don't know how much that's going to cost. My project, I'm going to get an updated sheets and comforter set because I found out I'm allergic to dust mites. I'm guessing about $125. I also moved into an apartment from an RV. Plates and coffee mugs. I need to get a new set. I'm estimating to spend about 100 extra. I'm writing down all of the birthdays. There are a lot of birthdays. I'm going to spend for my weekly cash. I'm not really going to allocate extra for that. I also am going to celebrate for this quarter Valentine's Day. I usually get myself a massage and flowers and treats just for fun. I'm going to do 100 for that. And then up next with the travel is I'm going to book in this quarter my flight to Wisconsin for a wedding. I'm estimating about 320. And then lastly is fun. I am planning on doing a couple of things. I want to find sports meetups, new groups. I want to try 200 workouts for the year. I do want to sign up for a pickleball league. That was $60. And then I also want to do a concert. I'm estimating $75 for that. For their quarterly review to stay accountable, I like to look even more specific at the upcoming month. Again, it sounds a little repetitive to rewrite things down, but there is power in reviewing what you want, writing it down, and making it happen. Each subcategory, we're going to do 5 max specific details to execute on my plan for the quarter and year. For January, we're going to do the therapy weekly. I do need to schedule the dermatologist appointment. I'm going to schedule it in January and then have it actually occur in February. I'm going to schedule the eye doctor appointment this month and then the supplement. I also need one specific detail is I need to schedule a primary care appointment. Now that I have a new plan, I need to establish care with a new doctor. Next is maintenance. And last year I had a lot in this because I had an RV. This year I have an apartment. So I'm just writing down a couple of notes. I need to put in a maintenance request for a thing on my stove is broken and then also my sink. Luckily, I don't have to do a thing with this at all. I also need to figure out what to do with this lost license plate situation, maybe file with a DMV and order a new one. Part of doing quarterly reviews is also looking at what didn't get accomplished from the last quarter. And last quarter, I meant to buy a TV for my new apartment, but I didn't get around to it. So I need to do that in the first month of Q1. I'm estimating to buy a TV for $100. I also got a coat rack that I need to simply assemble. And I am, like I have mentioned, going to get those sheets, pillowcase, and comforter for my allergies. And that I'm estimating is $125. For celebrations, I wanted to do something for New Year's Eve and then make plans for my friends in Austin that have birthdays. There is nothing really for travel. For fun, I do want to focus on finding meetups and activities to do this year. Like I mentioned, hiking, biking, running, soccer, volleyball, pickleball, also singles groups, content creator groups, podcasts. And then I do want to buy myself a new pair of white shoes. Then to finalize this process, I recommend looking at your actual calendar and then marking out the important date. For me, that was New Year's Eve party, pickleball games, bike groups, my therapy appointments, birthdays, and my work stuff. I do the Ultimate Guide to Managing Money, which is my free class, and then Best Money class ever actually started. And then I reviewed and wrote down my top goals and things that I want to do. So for me, I'm really focusing on building this YouTube and then doing short form, get 3 events for February, fun meetups, and then do on average 4 workouts per week. It's a little common sense. If you want to have a 90-day plan, you just need to look at the calendar for the next 90 days and write out the important things that are happening. So do this for January, February, March, and then also go through and each week in a weekly spread of a calendar, mark out those important dates and reminders that are going on in your life. It's like a massive brain dump. Step number 5 is then to update your actual budget with that plan. So a lot of people absolutely hate budgets, but budgets just literally put a dollar sign to your to-do list and make your goals and dreams a reality. Then I like to hop in for the upcoming 3 months and make sure we have money allocated for those extra things that you want to do in the next 90 days. Here's what that looks like. Again, I have a very automatic budget. My income and my fixed expenses are automated. My extras are allocated. For my medical, I have my eye doctor supplement, have the projects, pillowcases, and the TV, and they're already forecasted for the entire upcoming year. There was one thing that changed, and that was actually my gym. I decided to make a difference in my gym, so I'm deleting that from my January budget and then updating it in February. In February, I have a new monthly rate, and then there is the annual fee. And what happens is anytime I make a change that actually reflects for the upcoming full year. So then I do need to go in the following month and delete that annual fee out. So that's not copied over. It's just the regular gym fee. Then I'm reviewing my extras in February, which is the eye doctor, dermatologist, the upgrade for my plates and mug, and then my Valentine's massage. In March, my extras are the eye doctor, toll tag, oil change, and a flight to Wisconsin. And that's exactly how you can stay accountable with money with a 90-day plan by having a quarterly review. Think of a quarterly review as your chance to press the reset, redo, start again button and get really clear on the next 90 days of what you want in your money and your life. It's a chance also to reflect on the past quarter, what went right or wrong, and then what you want for the upcoming quarter. It includes reviewing your spending, your net worth, and updating upcoming expenses to reach your goals. You stay on track without getting overwhelmed, catch issues early on, adjust to life changes, build steady momentum with your financial life and goals. It's a practical way to stay in control and intentional with your money all year round. I hope that you start the practice of having a quarterly review to stay accountable for your goals for the year. Again, if you'd like to grab the exact financial day planner that I use, it's linked in the description below. And I am here to hype you up. Now it's time for a Best Money Class Ever money win. A lot can happen in 90 days, especially when you automate your plan. This couple paid off, they said so far, around $17,000. They got rid of a Lowe's card with about $4,000 and then another credit card with about $7,000 and made a big chip, a few thousand on that as well. So this was all within 3 months. Amazing things happen when you have a plan with a deadline and then you just automate that plan. If they did that, you can too. Thank you so much, my yellow groupers, for watching. Every show has a dope name that they call their listeners, and I am calling you my yellow groupers. We have slow starts. We are behind. The hands we are dealt are not ideal. The cards are stacked against us, but that is where our grit is born, and we get the desire to turn things around. We get knocked off course, but we don't ever give up. If you've been meaning to get your finances in order, now's the time, and the finance plan is the best place to start. Here, you're going to overcome analysis paralysis with a proven plan. You can totally pay things off and retire a millionaire even if you have no idea where to start and you're currently living paycheck to paycheck. I am really curious and I would love to hear from you. How do you stay accountable with money? Do you do quarterly reviews? Let me know in the comments below if you're watching on YouTube or listening on Spotify. Did you like the show? Make sure and like it and share it with all your friends who also geek out over money. And don't forget to make sure and subscribe. Leave me a 5-star review wherever you're listening. It really helps others who are on a mission to pay off debt and invest find this show. Best money class ever, my signature live and virtual 4-week personal finance class is in session right now. Do you want in? You can get on the waitlist. Head on over to bestmoneyclassever.com or the link below and save your spot for the free intro to class, the ultimate guide to managing money. You'll instantly get a free 20-page downloadable with the finance plan, your step-by-step plan. As always, remember you only live once. Be smart with your money. Now I will catch you later. Bye.